Hi. The most exciting thing about Toastmasters, you'll agree, are the meetings, the Toastmaster meetings. That's where together the role players create a symphony. Toastmaster roles have become important because there's been a transition in the waiting. We will soon have physical meetings, and remember, more than half of the current membership are Toastmasters who were born into Toastmasters during the lockdown years. So, therefore, we will soon have a situation of leaders who have not seen a territory leading us all into those unknown territories. Therefore, and given the influential aspect of meetings, let's spend some time on meetings and meeting roles. Meetings are the face of a club. You have a mental picture of a club for its punctuality, for the quality, evaluation quality, whatever, based on the meeting experience you have with them. It's at the meetings that we convert guests into members and we convince members to remain and continue as members. So, therefore, meetings are the VPM's most powerful tool. Role players together create a symphony. For that to happen, we need to plan, we need to prepare, we need to execute to the best of our abilities. There's no small guitar, big guitar. All guitars, all percussions, all instruments have to be in fine tuned condition. Starting with the sergeant at arms, who really sets the tone of high energy or low energy, mirth or upper stiff lip, stiff upper lip, or whatever. He's the early bird. I'm going to say he for all role players, no gender bias, just for convenience. Please bear with me. So he is the early bird. He is the facilities manager, air conditioner, setting up the equipment, signboards, the ribbons, the all your awards, making sure refreshments come on time, water, what have you. He welcomes the members and guests with an applause. That's an energy giver. Do that. And he sets the tone. He introduces a presiding officer. Now, this is a little secret. If you have a new Toastmaster who wants to improve his confidence, give him the sergeant at arms roles because week after week, he has to introduce the same product in a different way. But it is scripted, so you can, by heart it or whatever, internalize it and deliver it with confidence, and your confidence will go up as a Toastmaster. So it's a very good role. It's a stepping stone role. Meetings, we know, start with the sergeant at arms. The president comes in. The TMOD gives the outline and presents the theme. The G introduces a tag team. Then TMOD comes back and conducts the prepared speeches. Then calls the TT master. Time for mental calisthenics. TMOD asks for timing for qualified speakers. GE comes back. The crucial evaluation rounds happen. You ask for voting. TMOD comes back and sums up and hands over to the presiding officer. If you see there's a symmetry, TMOD comes 4 times, president starts and ends, TT master in the center, GE comes in between twice. I've shown it in a color coded manner, you can see it. This is the total palette of players. We have 12 of them if you have 3 speeches. TMOD, general evaluator, and TT master have their discrete responsibilities. Toastmaster of the day is the meeting's director and the host. He conducts the show as the MC. He, again, no gender bias, only convenience. But there's something more many clubs do, which is once you form a team, a group, a WhatsApp group of the role players, he becomes the CEO. Somebody dropping out, he alerts the VPM. He coordinates with all Toastmasters, seniors, juniors, everywhere. That's how you learn leadership. Where else, how else do we say where leaders are born? He sets and substantiates the theme. He sets and substantiates the theme of the meeting. And with G, he ensures all role players are present and ready. The TMOD takes care of the speakers, are in touch with them. The G is in touch with the evaluators and the tag players. That's how all the role players are taken care of in terms of preparation and delivery, being present and delivery. He takes care of transitions and all surprises like a goalie. He is also responsible for the timekeeping and guides role players to make sure the meeting starts on time and ends on time. He is the sun, the conductor. The Zubin Mehta of Toastmaster meetings is the TMOD. It's important that with the VPE, the time slots are agreed on. Typically, unless there are very few meetings, very few speakers, there'll be an 8-minute slot or 7-minute or 9-minute initially when the president introduces you. You got to talk about the meeting outline as also introduce a G in a gentle way. Then you have part 2. At the end, you get 2 minutes to sum up. 1 minute could be used for theme sum up. Why I am saying it is, we must respect the audience time. Some cases I see that the theme is given in installments. Whatever happens, all the extra time taken is pushed as a punishment on the TT session. That gets truncated. TT master doesn't feel great. And speakers whose only opportunity to test their vocal cord that day in the 2 hours or 1.5 hours, they will be denied an opportunity. So timing and efficiency starts with the Toastmaster. In practical terms, a 700-word script will do sufficiently well. There's a lot of extempore additions one can do as we go along so that it looks natural. Which means there is no slot to installmentalize the theme and say, coming back to the theme, ta-ta-ta-ta. Also, there's something cruel, I think, about the TMOD allowing the audience to listen to some fantastic speeches and again calling back. So back to my theme of perseverance. Again, then something else happens. Then, yeah, talking about perseverance, that installmentalizing is pushing the and pulling the audience's mind, in my personal view. In 2 installments, neatly given, might work better. But don't forget, there is a lot of opportunity for Creative Commons with a tinge of the theme of the day. For example, a speaker completes. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anusha. You entirely support the theme, validate the theme that I've been talking about, of variety is the spice of life. You link it. It looks like one wholesome unit on the theme. Secondly, introductions. Let 12 voices give their views on the theme of the day. Let them support. Incidentally, TMOD has no copyrights over the theme. The GE will also ask for introductions based on that. So what happens is you are presenting the views of a group of 12, 13 people talking about the same topic. So diversity comes in, unity comes in. Here I have a view. A theme is just a room freshener. It's not an insecticide. I will tell you the context. Some airports, I remember Pune, when there is a transit flight, the doors are open, and then when it is closed, the air hostesses first close their noses and they come with some spray. It's an insecticide. It's obnoxious, but it's meaningful. Whereas when there is no transit flight, rather elsewhere, in some other situations, they come and give a new spray, additional spray of room freshness. That smells nice. That's all we need to do. Give a nice flavor, give a good feeling as TMOD with a theme that's easy to digest. That's not an intellectual challenge. And if there is a book that I have read and I so love it, let me not download it on you, the audience. Let me instead ask VPE for a speech slot and deliver it as a speech. Because the audience is not expecting an educational speech or session from the TMOD. The audience just wants a feel good. Introductions are important for more than one reason. Why? First of all, the role players have to feel good when they are introduced. Secondly, the audience should know what is the background of the role players so that they can expect value and they will listen. More so in the case of guest speakers. Yes, I wanted to also talk about thematic versus general. My submission is subject to time availability. Get a bit on their profile as Toastmasters, as also in their career. Secondly, ask them for what they feel about the theme of the day. Like I said, let those 13 voices cascade down and you present a wholesome picture, multi-dimensional picture of the very same theme. That befits Toastmasters. Guest speakers, important because we need to introduce them well because the audience may not know them. Give them that feel good that they are important and the audience is ready, and make the audiences ready by giving their credentials so that audience would believe that they will benefit by listening. By the by, if the topic of the guest speaker's address session is about artificial intelligence, no point saying that the guest speaker is an accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer. Better you stay with what is relevant to the topic being delivered, unless there is not much to say. Brevity. It's the unknown quality in Toastmaster meetings. It is through this brevity that we deliver meetings that are tight, that are efficient, that don't give a dull moment anywhere. Let's give an example. I asked the TT master about the theme of the day, namely time and tide waits for no man, and this is what he had to say. Come on, 24 words. What wisdom have you got? It is pure introduction. It is pure setup. Just to say, of course, do today what you can do today. Wow. What can be done? Fully endorsing the theme of the day, today's TT Master said, only 8 words as against the wastage of 24, and then deliver his quote. Of course, do today what you can do today. By chiseling, by cutting down wasteful words, empty words, sounds, we can achieve brevity. I call it the 6-pack of language. It's beautiful. It's attractive. That is a subset of the efficient meetings that Toastmasters run. Another word on introductions. I believe that the lockdown days have taught us a lot about the use of visuals to retain attention. Otherwise, in some quarters, I see some discomfort about visuals. Why? We are Toastmasters, yes. As Toastmasters, we are communicators. And if visuals support that task, why not? Consider this. I'm introducing the tag team. Today's timer is Saravana Kumar, and his photo comes like a meteor going up. He feels good. And grammarian is Toastmaster Ajit. But there's nothing to show for Smita Pratap. She wouldn't be pleased. General evaluator is another important role in a meeting. He is in charge of evaluation, which means evaluators and tag teams, ensures their presence and preparation. So this is a subset that is handled by the general evaluator. Directly, the speakers are handled by the TMOD. By the by, the general evaluator is not a sub-agent for the theme of the day. He has no reason to launch into a speech about the theme, nor a speech about a separate theme. It's awkward. He ideally should use the theme of the day for introducing the team under him, so that there is a synergy of the theme. And there is no reason to say, listening to when I heard this theme, I remembered my college days 20 years back. Oh, come on. No need. No need for personal stories. Stay with the script. Add value and forget the ribbon. I'll tell you why. It's an unequal fight. The TMOD has a huge advantage of bringing a theme, talking in different times, overall taking more time. So I don't think as general evaluator, I should attempt to do one better than the TMOD and snatch the ribbon from him. I'm saying to you, it's good to do the best, but not to aim for the ribbon, but to add value, because this is a quality chief role. Evaluator of evaluators. I will explain the context. When we have new Toastmasters as evaluators, which is inevitable, and they are yet to find their feet, and some of the pronouncements may not be very correct. And if not corrected, they will go around as the gospel truth. It may be a good idea for the senior is the wrong word, experienced Toastmaster to moderate the evaluation so that wrong impressions don't go around. It's a call the VPE has to take. General evaluator, to continue, what does he do? He observes and takes note of ambience, creature comfort. Is the temperature okay? Is the sun too heavy on the western side? Timing. Did we start on time? Did we lose time in transition? Did we lose time in the projector not working? Make a note of all that to avoid their recurrence. And how did people perform their duties? Overall, a comment on the speeches and the evaluations. And overall conduct and anything exceptional, good or bad, should be in the general evaluator's final report. This is something we need to remember, and one of them is a question of reviving. Reviving is, we used to have a system of GE reports in a bound volumes, and one refers back to the previous comments and see whether the progress has been made in that aspect or not. So that's something the GE should deliver. Secondly, the MOT, the moment of truth, where you promise to do a lot of things as an ExCom, many of them lie in the area of meetings. Have they done that? That is also part of GE's report areas. In other words, value add, improvement suggestions, not predictable goody-goody script. Yeah, we had 2 fantastic speeches and 2 fantabulous evaluations. Doesn't help. Also, it affects our personal standing, our personal credibility. You are the quality chief, so you can point out any error or improvement area for anyone. That is the role. Then we have table topics master, where people shoot from their lips. Since we cannot predict the time of the session, it's always safe to be prepared for more. Select the topics in advance. And if there are many new Toastmasters who may not last that 1 minute, you will need more topics than you would otherwise calculate in a statistical manner. Please keep non-specialized themes or topics. I may love Bahamas, where I visited on my official trip, but that shouldn't make Bahamas table topics. How many would know Bahamas? Or ideally, objects limit. If you don't have that experience to speak for 200 minutes, it will dent the speaker's confidence. Go for themes, go for ideas, which people will find easier. There is lot of scope for novelty and creativity, and I'm so glad that, compelled by the need to grab people's attention in the online situation, lot of creativity has emerged in this session. Visual energy has been used to capture minds. So that let's continue even in the physical times. Linked to theme or not. There are two views about it, but let me say one limited point. If the topic is success, the first theme of the day is success. So the first speaker is asked, what was behind your success in your career? Okay, then he says something very self-flattering. Good. Second speech, can you suggest a formula for success? If I am a clever guy, the next second speaker, I will easily pick up from what the first speaker said and make it as my own. That defeats the purpose of table topics. Table topics are to activate the gray cells, not the memory cells. Therefore, if you are sticking to a theme, let the answers required be different from each other. This is something sensitive. I must speak from confidence. First chance, please call non-role players and guests. I believe the VPE and VPM have the role to decide on who the speakers are. They know the attendance pattern. They know which guests are interested in becoming members, which guests just come to have a feel of things. Similarly, a member who has not been coming for long, I think he should be invited back into activity by the VPE telling the TT master, hey, please call so and so. There is another aspect to it. Avoid role players. It is cruel for a role player to be called a second time when a member sits quiet for 1.5 hours, his mouth closed except to yawn a couple of times. Come renewal time, we may see some result if we do that to our members. This is something I learned from a senior Toastmaster. Give the topic first. Time and tide waits for no man. Then let people wait to see who you're going to call. Because instead of Dayalan, you say Dayalan, that your topic is so and so, you give the topic first. 25 brains are at work in top gear. If I'm called, what will I say? So you are multiplying the impact, the benefit with one question. Be kind to guests. If they ask, give them the 30 seconds grace. If they want, change the topic, give them a new topic. If they are fumbling and don't reach 1 minute, prompt them, hold their hand, let them finish that 1 minute, the minimum time, so that they don't feel bad. Toastmasters is essentially, not fundamentally, at one level, about making people feel good about themselves. Now, it is not a question of people saying, oh, Vinita, what topics you pulled out, man. How knowledgeable you are. How well-traveled you are. That should be given in the Facebook. Here, my success as a TT master is judged by how well the speakers spoke. Did all of them manage to speak for 1 minute plus? Did they feel good about themselves? So this is a time, an opportunity you create to make others feel good. Timer. Timer is the heartbeat of a Toastmaster meeting. We know, it's obvious, we have to familiarize ourselves with the timings. 2 minute, 2.5, 3, 1 minute, 1.5, 2, 5, 6, 7, whatever. And the signaling equipment. Explain initially the timing rules and demonstrate the signal devices so that the speakers would have seen it and they know what exactly to expect. Listen carefully to each participant. This role improves the listening skills quite a lot. First, announce the names of qualified speakers, evaluators, etc., and not the full details of the time taken, which is given at the end when you're asked to give the timer's report. This is important. 2 minutes for evaluation. I hold the red card, the green card, and then I keep time. No. 2 minutes, hold the green card, keep it holding till you come with the yellow card and put down the green card. Why? A speaker's apple of the eye is the audience. They are trying to connect with the audience. They are not looking at the timer all the time. And if I show it and put it down, when I look at the timer, I don't see anything. I don't get any idea at all. So therefore, keep holding for the last 1.5 minutes plus. Our counter, noting repeat words, filler, crutch sounds, overlong pauses. Be sure if it is a deliberate pause for drama, don't show that as a mistake. Repetitions, inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but you know all that. And sounds. But the important thing is no comment on the language. So-and-so's language, the speaker's language, no. That is for the grammarian. No word on the grammar, no. Expressions, that's roles are given for different people. Secondly, the R counter is not a census enumerator. 17 R's, 12 no. My first job as role in Toastmasters was as an R counter. So there was this young lady, very good language, but she had she'll keep on saying So when my turn came to give the report, I said so-and-so had many R's, but the many I said in a very dramatic, many R's. So I didn't give the count. I must have felt made her feel bad. Then I didn't see her for the next 4 meetings. I said, my God, did my foolishness, kill a Toastmaster, nip a Toastmaster in the bud? I felt guilty. But I learned my lesson. Then I heard that TCS had sent her to UK, the client's place. So I felt so relieved. So I didn't kill anyone, but I learned a good lesson. Grammarian, frankly, lots of people join Toastmasters to improve their language skills, along with leadership, communication, and all that. Grammarian is the #1 contributor to helping them fulfill their wish. Introduce the word of the day, give tips so that people know how to start using it. Also, when people use the word wrongly, it often happens, a new word. At the end, when report is given, without mentioning the name, it's a good idea to say it should not be used like this, like this. 1 in 5 children wear glasses, typical mistake. But if I can say it should be 1 in 5 children wears glasses because the subject is one. If I say that with some patience, I'm sure many people who make this mistake will correct it for good. That is the value the grammarian can deliver. 1 point. If I'm not confident about my language and my grammar, I would suggest that I should not take on the grammarian role and mislead people, and there is no one to moderate the grammarian, so that mistakes can get perpetuated. So don't, if you are pushed by the VPE, say, give me some more time, if you feel so. Meeting speakers, very important role. We don't count them among role players. I believe that everybody, including the speaker himself as a Toastmaster, will benefit the maximum if they go through the process that's been so beautifully structured, engineered by Toastmasters. What is that? Study the manual. Discuss possible topics with the mentor. Agree on one, agree on the points, and then draft. If we do this, one, of course, we will internalize all that there is to a particular skill projected in that project. Secondly, the tragic human wastage of effort being having to be thrown away because it was wide off the mark can be avoided. So this is a more time efficient method, though we think that reading the manual takes time. There is a huge responsibility when 25 members listen to me for 7.5 minutes. I am responsible for 3 hours plus of human time. I have to benefit the audience. If I can entertain them, do that. If I can educate them, do that. If I can motivate them, do that. Let them go back with something gained from you in return for the 3.5 hours of human time they have collectively given to me. It's important. VPE may say, hey, I'm short on speakers. Can you give one? Please prepare and deliver. The entire Toastmaster ecosystem of confidence building lies in this. You prepare to the best of your ability and you deliver and you get genuine applause. Then you realize, I have spoken well, which means I can do it again. That is how one enters the upward spiral of confidence. Don't go for a half-cooked speech and enter the downward spiral of confidence. And the trick in the Toastmaster journey is the earlier you start enjoying speaking opportunities, the more pleasurable and beneficial that trip will be. Then we have the table topic speaker. Develop the ability to organize thoughts quickly. That's what life asks us to do. At home, on the job, while driving, all over. Respond to an impromptu question or topic. It's scary because it's unknown territory. We are kids who are scared of unknown territory to start with. But somehow get started. That is the trick. When you get started, once you may fumble, even the best of Toastmasters have their worst days, by the way, especially in table topics. But soon you will gain confidence. That's the way. Get out of this syndrome. Evaluator. Evaluators have to benefit the speakers and the audience. Don't paraphrase the speech. People have good memory, I would imagine. Instead, critique it. Critique it. Starting point for the evaluator is also a study of the manual. Don't depend on general knowledge because these manuals have projects that are very, very detailed, very, very managerial, very, very process driven. So to imagine that leadership style, I know leadership style, I've attended classes, or that doesn't work. This manual tells a lot of things we think we know. Evaluate the project and the speech in some cases. Some cases, it's only a body language speech. It's a body language. But there are many others. It talks about conducting a meeting. It talks about leadership role. It talks about project execution. Such cases, more than half the task is to evaluate the delivery as a project. Again, don't miss the wood for the trees. The body language was good. You increased your voice here. Fine. What was the message? What was the intent? Was it delivered? Don't miss that. Some quarters, there is a best practice of a pre-meeting chat to know what are the contexts, what are the circumstances, what is it that that speaker really wants to get an in-depth idea or feedback of. These kind of things help. Specific actionable suggestions. Show how. Don't say body language can be improved. Don't say voice variety can be improved. You say when that mother and son talk, You could use a heavier voice for the son, male voice, and mother is pleading, right? So use that kind of a tone, things like that, and actually deliver a dialogue. Friends, this is important. One has to balance candor and encouragement. One can't be at the expense of the other. Overall, we have seen all the roles. So, what makes for efficient meetings? First up, the VPE has to plan realistically. Get the feedback from the role players. Typically, I think by now all clubs have this groups formed, WhatsApp groups for all the role players. That's a very useful idea. They become a team. They want to deliver it together, led, of course, by the Toastmaster of the day. It's a very good practice. So, plan realistically means what? There's a speech, 5 to 7 minutes. How much time should I keep for a 5 to 7 minute speech? I would say 9 minutes. I'll tell you why. 7.5 minutes, I can exceed, I can get disqualified, but still I need to get that 8 minutes time if I need to. Introduction of the speaker. Before that, the objective, speech objectives being given by the evaluator. All that takes time. So 9 minutes for a 5 to 7 minute speech, 5 minutes for an evaluation, etc., etc. Otherwise, we will feel pressed for time. Finally, the poor TT speakers will go back dejected. Role players to study the agenda and follow it, especially in terms of time. It's a collective covenant of the Toastmaster, the role players to stay within a role, within a certain time span. It's like a train running on time. Very important, because if the meeting is delayed, somebody has to suffer. I may miss a doctor's appointment if the meeting is delayed. So for that, role players should know their script and their roles. It's all right to add some bells and whistles to the script, but the basic script is available. It should be fully understood and internalized. This is again where a new Toastmaster earns confidence by delivering it with confidence, because you can deliver with confidence what you know very well. So knowing very well what you have, your script is very important. Exceeding time, I've said that already, and cutting the TT time denies members who are muted, zipped up. Is it for the ribbon that we are here, or doing the best, creating a symphony and feeling good as a team? Enhancing meeting quality, if each of us take it as our objective, we will have it. So efficient, drag-free meetings, that is a Toastmaster brand value. We know very well that even in the highest of conferences, even the international president obeys the tyranny of the timer. Red mark, within 30 seconds, he closes. And there's no, it's not like public speeches where each praise the other for 5 minutes. We are an efficient, intelligent group here on a self-improvement journey. Let's remember that, and meetings are the #1 platform, playfield for that. A delayed ending puts strains on commitment. Next time, if I don't have the margin, I will skip the meeting. And if I skip the meeting many times, I will skip renewal. So, what makes fireworks great? Of course, the beauty, the variety, the colors. Also, there should never be a dull moment. As one flower comes down, the other one goes up like a meteor, attracting your attention. It's like absolute synchronization in this greatest sports in terms of synchronization, teamwork, and trust in the team members. Plan realistically, share the plan with the role players. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is something in today's Saturday meeting, Friday program finalized situation, this might suffer. Finally, meeting quality will suffer, which means those who take on their roles without full preparation will, their confidence will be dented. Let's make it seamless, which is possible by taking enough advanced action in terms of planning and synchronization. Finally, it all boils down to individual commitment to quality and timekeeping. If all of us if all of us stay within the official script, it'll be dull. Whereas if you want to improve and improvise and yet be within time, that is what makes for a wholesome experience. All this requires planning, coordination, timekeeping, critical thinking, quick-wittedness. Many of them become habit once we become regular role players, like MCs. They are unflappable. That's a state each of us should reach. That is what leadership is all about. Incidentally, all that I mentioned here, they are all the event management skills. This is how, on the side, tangentially, Toastmasters bestows upon us so many skills that we have not committed to signed up for, including event management skills. Imagine how this can help us on our job. Unexpectedly, something comes on our lap and the boss is amazed. Hey man, you've done a great job. I will stop with this. Thank you very much. I hope there are some of this, what you heard helps you create wow meetings.